Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I am going to get started working on this big lathe, the big monster lathe. Anyway, what I am going to do, this is powered by a three-phase motor, and I don't have any three-phase power here, but I do have this great big single-phase motor. So I'm going to pull things apart and see if I can line things up enough with this single phase motor and just replace that three-phase one, since there's hard to power these great big three-phase motors cheaply when you only have single phase power. Boy, that knot came easy. Kind of nice working on things that have been under a roof their whole life. I'm so used to working on tractors and stuff that have been out in the cold, out in the weather, and everything rusted up. Wow, that's got 4 belts on it. That's made to transfer some energy, isn't it? Boy, I hope that lower pulley will go through that hole if I pull it out the back there, because I can't get to anything to come out the front. So I can't really get to this stuff on the back end very well with this guard in here, so I'm going to try to get it pulled off. Hopefully by the time everything comes off, I'll be able to get to things. Luckily that big pulley is not on there too tight. So I think this cover is going to have to come the way it's designed right there. I've got one more bolt there that's going to have to be gotten off with an end wrench. Got a bolt there behind that gear. Hey. Came right off. Awesome. Boy, that just barely, I had to work it. I had to work this piece on that pulley. I had to work it back and forth. So there's that old motor, and that mount there is pretty big. So with any luck, I'll be able to mount this motor right onto it. So I can make this mount work. The distance between here and here, I'm going to have to drill a new hole about right there on both of them. But this distance here is easily taken up with those slotted holes. So I think I can make that mount work there. Okay, after further looking at this single phase motor is not going to work without some major work on it. You can see the distance between here and the back of the motor. this motor's just way longer than the old motor, and it's going to hit right there. So it's not going to go in there without some real work on it. So my next thing, I should have thought to try this before I tore everything apart, but it won't be hard to put it back together. Anyway, I have got this phase converter, just one of these cheap Chinese phase converters, and I bought that originally for this milling machine, and I messed with it forever trying to convert that three-phase motor over, and I could never get it to work. And so maybe something in that motor's not allowing it to work. So I'm going to hook it up to this motor, and maybe I'll have better luck with it. Okay, I keep hitting roadblocks here. It's the next day. I tried this phase converter, hooking it up to this motor, and after taking the time to hook it up, it didn't work. But I realized that that phase converter is just for a 3-horse motor, and that's a 5-horse motor, so that's not going to work. So anyway, I've done some research. I can get a phase converter for a 5-horse motor for about $180, and then put that 3-phase back on there, and that might be the simplest thing. So I've got that as an option. The other option is to put this single phase motor on it, and this single phase motor is it's the same RPMs and everything, so it would work, and it will pretty much mount up to there, except for it being in the way of that. And so that could be fixed. I could cut that out and re-weld a spot in there. So that's another option. The other option is I can get a single phase 5-horse motor for about the $180 or $190. But the problem with it is it's not a continuous duty motor. It's one of those motors that you have to let it stop and cool down every once in a while, which might be fine for this machine. I'll just have to do some research on it and see what I can come up with and make some decisions here. So anyway, I'll clean this up, clean these tools up and clean it up, and it'll probably be a little while before I get back to this project. I don't have the money to keep putting into this project at this point. So anyway, thanks for watching.